Hey there guys, Mikey here, and welcome back to the Comic Junkies Corner. So we've got this new Predator movie coming out called The Predator, and it's technically a comic series, so I guess I should talk about it. Now keep in mind, this is a teaser trailer, and they're not really going to show you anything of real substance, but at the same time, you should at least show us a little something to be intrigued by it. So yeah, you can kind of guess that my thoughts that this trailer was just kind of there. Now, granted, I haven't seen this movie. The movie hasn't even come out yet, but it did just kind of beg the question is like, are we past the point that we can actually make a good Predator movie? To the point where it actually made me question, were the first two Predator movies any good? To which to the second one, I'll say not so much. As far as the first one, yes and no. It is at times very suspenseful and actually scary in a few moments. But at the same time, it came out in the 80s, so you have that high level of 80s cheese. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, so yeah. I guess the surprising thing was that this actually became a franchise in the first place. And the series has actually gone on for a while. That's actually pretty impressive. You know, we've had the original Predator, Predator 2, Aliens vs. Predators, those two movies, Predators, which was taking place in another planet, and now we have this movie, The Predator. And like I said, just looking at this trailer, I was kind of like, you probably could have and should have hit your peak with Aliens vs. Predator. Because the premise itself sounds so cool. I mean, you have the xenomorphs versus the Predator. And it would have been cool, but we just had one little problem. Those pesky little humans. You know, I'm all into seeing the Predator fight the xenomorph and everything like that, and then the humans come in and I'm just like, God!
Get out. Sorry, man.
Okay.
Get out!
And then the second one, look, we just won't talk about the second one. Just leave that out. And you had Predators, which was okay, I guess. I guess it really depends on what you're looking for in a movie. But this whole thing just kind of started making me question, like, when should a franchise technically die? When has it officially run its course and we need to stop making movies? And this came up a few times, especially within like the last 6 months, I'd say, especially with movies like the Jurassic World. I didn't really care for Jurassic World all that much. I mean, except for the last fight scene between the Indominus and the T-Rex and the Raptor, I didn't care much about anything that was going on in that movie. And then you can go back and look at Indiana Jones as well. Yeah, like that last movie was a big disappointment for a lot of people. But even I'll say the quality of those movies were starting to teeter a little bit before that fourth one ever came out. And it's been one of those things. I've always kind of had a problem with sequels that come out much later on. Another example of that would have been Rush Hour 3. It was charming, but at the same time, if I'm being honest, it was Rush Hour 2 all over again. And you could say like, you know, there's a simple solution to this problem. Just stop making sequels that come out really late and just, you know, if they're not current, don't worry about them anymore. But then you have something like the Rocky series. The Rocky series started on a high note, and over time, like other movies in other franchises, they just start to teeter a little bit, and it's just like, oh, okay, I'm not really feeling this anymore. But then we have movies like Rocky Balboa and the recent movie Creed. And these are really good movies. I'd say the latter a little bit more than the former. And as for the argument about current series, well, look at Transformers. Now, granted, the Transformers movies have their audience. Look, I'm not knocking that whatsoever. But the bulk of these people know that they're watching something stupid and they're just kind of there to just kind of shove popcorn in their face and enjoy whatever ride they're on. So, if you think about it, like, there's no direct formula for this. It's not like all staying current and just, you know, movie every couple of years and something like that. Like, you know, you have the Marvel movies, you have the Star Wars movies and stuff like that. You know, there's no real formula for that because you can have sequels that come out years later, again, like Rocky, and be good. And you can have sequels that come out very current and not be so good. So the question is, what really happened? Why was Rocky Balboa and Creed so successful? What made these sequels so superior to others? In my personal opinion, I think there's two major things that are setting these movies above others. The first thing's pretty arguable, but I feel like it's very important. but the movie should probably have to have something to say. Now granted, all movies don't have to have some hidden message, some hidden moral in them or whatever. They can be mindless, turn your brain off type of movies. But if you're going to continuously put out a series, a slew of movies, you should probably have something to say. Because to be honest, why are you making them? What is your end goal for this particular series? You know, what's your roadmap? Where is your road leading to? You know, so what bumps, what speed bumps, what are you going to hit along the way? Why is that important? Why should we care that this is important? And the second thing that I feel like is extremely important is building on the foundation. And what I mean is, like, you further everything. You further the story, you further the characters, and you build on what's already in place. You know, it's cause and effect. There's a conflict that's going on now, but we've already seen this character in previous movies, so you have to give us something. You have to both build from that foundation that you built, as well as introduce this new obstacle. You know, and you have to do that in a way that makes sense. This is why I don't envy people that make sequels, especially people that, you know, other directors and stuff that come in and make sequels for other people's work. Because what I have in my mind is going to be completely different than what you have in your mind. You will see the world a lot differently than I will. But sometimes they can come together very well. And I guess that's kind of my point with Predator, because I'm at this point now, I'm just like, why are you even doing this? Because I'll be honest, like, the premise of this movie is very silly. Because we've had the Predator go from the jungle, you know, and fighting in a war zone, to the grimy streets of 1990s LA, to outer space, to the suburbs. Because why not? And you want to know what kicks off this whole movie? A little kid apparently accidentally triggers a ship, a Predator ship, to come back to Earth. So that whole thing when the kid's actually playing with the doodad, he's just like crashing through things. He's actually controlling the ship that's crashing through things. What do you do? How do you even punish a kid for that? Like, damn it, Timmy! Go in a corner and think about what you did.
Oh, but Mom, I'm on the verge of contact with an advanced alien civilization.
I don't care how advanced they say they are, Jimmy. If your father and I haven't met them, they're strangers. Right, Hugh?
Except for policemen. They're there to help you.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, this is actually at a point where it's just like, this is silly. This is just silly. Like, if I'm thinking of an idea of force, that sounds forced. That sounds like something like I would come up with as a parody. And I know you guys are thinking, just like, well, Mikey, just don't go see the movie, you know? And trust me, I'm not. This is going to be an Amazon Prime free rental at best. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is, why does this movie need to exist? If you want to make a fun popcorn flick, you can do that. You trust me, I understand. And you can do that without attaching the name Predator to it. And I guarantee you, if you make it good enough, people will come see it. But again, those are my thoughts on it, so your thoughts might be completely different. Maybe you're really excited for this Predator movie. Just in my personal opinion, this franchise probably should have been dead a long time ago. I feel like it ran its course, it made a good valiant effort, but it just wasn't interesting anymore. To me. Anyway, like I said, your thoughts might be different, but whatever your thoughts are, put them down in the comments below. What did you think about the Predator trailer? When do you think a franchise should end? I'm curious to know what your thoughts on this matter is. I'm pretty sure, I think what it all boils down to is creativity and maybe a lack thereof. A lack of it, and I'm pretty sure that there's been many people out there, many critics, many YouTubers and stuff that have put together and compiled their thoughts about creativity and originality and the overuse of nostalgia in a much more coherent and they say it a whole lot. They'll say it a whole lot better than I am saying it right now. And I think that's kind of what this is boiling down to. But like I said, whatever your thoughts are, put them down in the comments below. Thank you guys for tuning into the Comic Junkies Corner on McBlam Entertainment, where we try to bring up a little bit of enjoyment to your day every day. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video.